Honda has been making their trademarked FireBlade since 1992, when the very first FireBlade was released. Now, I did a whole history video of the FireBlade series, so if you're interested in learning about that, I'll leave a link down in the description below. This video is going to be me making a bold claim that Honda's 954 FireBlade is the best FireBlade ever created. So sit back and relax while I make a very compelling argument as to why Honda's 954 was simply the best FireBlade ever created. We're going to start with the 954's specifications. The 954 was released in 2002 and it was based off of the 929, which was released in 2000. The 954 had 154 horsepower, made 74 foot-pound of torque, and had a dry weight of 370 pounds and a curb weight of 424 pounds. This resulted in a 0 to 60 time in 2.8 seconds and a 10.3 second quarter mile time with a top speed of 178 miles per hour. Now, these numbers may not impress you much, but this was all the way back in 2002, and these numbers still hold up great today. With a power-to-weight ratio of 2.4 pounds per horsepower, that's just insane. Even most leader bikes today are hovering around that 2 pounds per horsepower ratio or 2.1, somewhere around there, so it still holds up even to today's leader bikes. And the 954 isn't just good on paper. I now have personal experience riding one of these, and I have to say the feeling you get when you ride a 954 is simply amazing. The bike doesn't seem to have any compromises. You need power? You got it. Oh, just at the top end? Nope. Power everywhere. What about stopping? It stops on a dime. What about handling? It handles like a 600. What about the weight? It feels like a 600. It literally just feels like a 600 with tons of extra power, and that's the magic formula. The reason why people like 600s over 1000s is because the 1000s require so much effort to ride them. A 600 is easy. They just dive nicely into corners and they feel so light and easy to maneuver and control, and they help build your confidence. A typical 1000 weighs roughly around 450 pounds, I know the new ones are getting a little bit lighter than that, versus 600 which weighs close to 400 pounds, and trust me, you do feel that extra 50 pounds. But the 954 only weighs 424 pounds, and not only is it light on paper, but Honda did a fantastic job at hiding the weight so well that it feels like it just weighs around 400 pounds. Seriously, I can barely notice the difference between my 954 and my 600RR when I'm riding them weight-wise. But not only is the 954 light and powerful, but it also has all the important things that don't show up on the spec sheets. Like comfort, for instance. I can ride the 954 all day long and be totally comfortable. I'm serious, it's more comfortable than my 600, which is already regarded as one of the most comfortable modern 600s. Also, with a very low 32.1 inch seat height, it is very accessible to all riders, even those who are vertically challenged. Not only that, but just look how much space is in the trunk. You can fit tons of stuff back here. This is the first time I've owned a sport bike that actually has trunk space. I feel like every trunk in most sport bikes is basically for your registration and maybe an Allen wrench, and that's it. Not the 954, you can fit your lunch in here, your tools, anything. And when you are riding in a reasonable manner, the 954 can achieve up to 42 miles per gallon, which gives it a range of nearly 200 miles, which is insane since that's on par with my 600, which makes 35 less horsepower. Now, I know comfort and trunk space are usually not great selling points for a superbike, but for me it is. I love having a super capable bike that I can ride around all day and not have to worry about bringing a backpack or taking frequent stops. In addition to that, the 954 is just proven to be a reliable bike. I basically pulled mine out of the dumpster for $500. It was trashed, neglected, and scavenged for parts, yet I got it running great with just a little bit of effort and a few parts. I'm not so sure the same results would have happened with another bike. I mean, you just can't kill these things. They've been on the road for 18 years now and they're still going strong. The 954 was just built to last. It's one of the only bikes ever made to feature a full titanium exhaust system, and even though the service intervals call for the valves to be adjusted every 16,000 miles, many owners report that the valves stay in spec way longer than that, and they recommend you actually check it at 32,000 miles. So if you want a hassle-free, powerful, and capable bike that won't break your back, will hold more stuff than even a VFR, and still continue to hold its value, then the 954 is the obvious choice. I've ridden my friend's 2007 1000RR, and no offense, Matt, your bike is awesome, but it just didn't feel the same to me. It felt heavy and the throttle felt so intimidating. It just felt like a ridiculous thing that I was on, if I'm gonna put it bluntly. I feel like when you ride the modern day 1000s, it feels like you're fighting with the machine almost to get it to do what you want it to do. And that's probably why all these new leader bikes come with tons of electronics and rider aids to help you out, because the power is just too extreme. And in my opinion, that sort of takes the fun away from it, because riding a motorcycle is supposed to be just you in the road, not some computer taking over for you every time you hit a corner. So all these superbikes being released with 180, 200, and now 215 horsepower, it's just ridiculous and unnecessary. The 954 had the perfect amount of reasonable power for the street, and it weighed practically nothing, and it was a bike you could live with every day and constantly enjoy. Even though now it's 18 years old, it still holds up today perfectly well. Seriously, try out running someone who's riding a 954, and you'll find it not to be as easy as you'd expect. And once you hit the twisties, you may just be looking at their taillight the whole time. I tried thinking of a few things I didn't like about the 954, but I really am having trouble. I guess it would be nice if it had a fuel gauge and the engine is a little noisy, but overall the bike just does what you tell it to do, and it does it well. This is the type of bike that when you are riding, you forget you're even on a bike. You just feel like you're flying through the road. It feels like an extension of your own body, like you don't notice you have legs when you are walking, you just walk. Same thing with the 954, you just go, and it's simply a beautiful thing. And I think every motorcycle enthusiast should try one out at least one time. In conclusion, all FireBlades are special bikes, but the most special one of the bunch is the 954. And I hate myself so much for making this video, because I just know the more people find out about these machines, the value will go up even higher, as you can scoop up a great condition example for like $3,000. And one day I was actually planning on picking up a showroom example because of just how much I like this bike. Oh well, at least I still have my $500 FireBlade that I rescued kicking around. Anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave me a like and make sure you subscribe for more motorcycle related content. Thank you for watching.